AITA for kicking our adult stepdaughter out of the home? Are we, my husband, 44M, and I, 45F, TAs for kicking out our oldest child, my stepdaughter, his BD, 21F? Important. We are a happily married couple with steady full-time jobs. We live in a stable environment, own our home, not rich, just hardworking, and have since had 2 boys together, 8 and 12 years old. The backstory. My husband has always had full custody of his daughter. We got together when she was 17 months old, and her visitations with biomom were spotty at best and often non-existent when she was growing up. From a very young age, she exhibited signs of mental illness, which we tried to get her help for over and over. Stealing from us turned into shoplifting, lying to us about literally everything, even when there was no point in it, turned into pathological lying, even to teachers, counselors, therapists, friends, and friends' parents. Her behavior out of the home was stellar. Inside our walls, she refused to follow rules, ignored boundaries, called both of names, or just refused to speak to us. She began running away whenever we tried to enforce rules or deliver consequences for breaking them. If we took away Wi-Fi access as punishment, she would just leave and not come home for days/weeks on end. She would bring and smoke drugs inside our home. Then, she began telling the school and her friends/boyfriends' parents that we would withhold food and medication from her, not true, and threatening to call CAS on us. Eventually, she aged out of being able to use CAS against us for herself and started threatening to call them on behalf of our oldest son. He has been diagnosed with ADHD and autism and is on meds for the ADHD. She started claiming that we're just sedating him to make him easier to deal with and telling him not to take his meds. At that point, my husband kicked her out. Not on the streets, her friend's mom allowed her to stay there. But we decided that it's one thing to live with her abusive nature and deal with it as best we could, but another thing to allow her to turn it on her siblings. It was a heartbreaking decision, but we felt it was necessary. So, are we the a-holes?